That was For Your Love by Dr. Victor. Now, Hope, I think I could hear that through your computer. Are you wearing headphones?
Yes, I am
Oh, okay.
hearing the music.
I could hear the music twice, so through my end and through your end. So,
Maybe you that hear it, or will somebody else also hear it?
yeah, I don't know. Because for some reason, all of a sudden, I started hearing it double from mine and from yours, and I was like, what is that noise? And turns out, I think it was coming from your end. So I don't know if you'll be able to listen to the music if it's coming through on both
Okay.
ends.
Yeah, that's not going to be so nice, but yes, what can we do about that?
Yeah. Well, we'll figure it out. I can make some adjustments on my end to make sure it's not my end, but that's it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was For Your Love by Dr. Victor, selection by Hope 777. I haven't heard of this song before, but she introduced it to me and said that we should play it at the beginning of every one of our shows. So that's what we will be doing. I'm so glad to have all of you here. We've been planning our first show for a couple of months now, and I'm just so excited to have all of you here and to have my co host, Hope, all the way from, is it South Africa, is where you're from, Hope?
Oh, yes, that's right, South Africa. And
That is,
also, welcome from me to all of you, all the audience that listening. As Kabi is saying, we've been planning this for a long time. Now we're welcoming you to our new show, Romance on the Air. And as she said, that was our theme song, For Your Love by Dr. Victor and the Rasta Rebels. And they are actually a South African group. So, yeah, fresh
very
from
cool.
South Africa.
That
Song
is,
now, then in the future, you will know it's time for Romance on the Air. Um, and with myself and the wonderful Kabi. And thank you for everyone that tuned in. We're so excited at last to be here.
we are so excited. Yes, we are. We have been talking about this show for so long and, going back and forth on ideas and how the show should be run. And of course, Hope wants to play lots of music. And of course, I want to talk a lot. And so we've come to the compromise that we are going to do both. And it's going to be wonderful. And Hope, for those of you who don't know, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Like, how many languages do you speak? How long have you lived there? And where we can find you on Steemit?
Okay, I speak only two languages. Afrikaans, that's my native language, and English, that's my second language. It's not so well, so yes, I'm apologizing if my accent or somebody are struggling to get the right word, so you will have to bear with me. She will be there. She will maybe help me out if she sees I'm struggling.
You're doing great. Absolutely wonderful.
Thank you. I've been living in South Africa my whole life. Yeah, so I've never been anyone else. I never traveled abroad, but yeah, maybe someday you never know. Maybe Steemit will make it happen.
This is true. And maybe one day we'll have Steamfest there and I'll be able to come and visit you and meet you and your wonderful husband. And funny, the name of our show is based off of your blog and how we became friends. We became friends because I found you on Steemit and we started following each other. And then we came on to MSP Pal and we've kind of been supporting each other ever since. And my name on Steemit is Cubby Elizabeth. You can find me at Cubby Elizabeth, and you can find Hope at Hope77777. And she writes a lot about love and romance. So you can check out her blog. She does lots of different series for it. And she and I are both in love with love. And how long have you been married, Hope?
Well, this is my second marriage. In my 10th year now. Will be 10 years at. Hubby died about 3 months before our 25th anniversary. So yes, I have a lot of experience in love and marriage. Quite a few years there.
Yeah. Oh, I actually didn't know that. So you were married for how long? The first time you were married, for how many years?
months short of 25 years.
Wow. And you mentioned he passed
So
away?
yeah, way, and then I got married to my current hubby, and we're going for our 10th year now.
Oh, well, that's amazing. And then you have me over here who is beyond single and just hoping one day to be able to say that I've been married for X amount of years too. And so you put us two together. I'm a hopeless romantic. You have Hope, who has tons of experience and has been married to a wonderful husband who you can also find and follow on Cement. And she has a lot of advice that I don't care if you're single, if you're married, if you're in between. It's a lot of good of advice for it. And to kind of kick it off, I have another song that Hope selected for us, and I'm actually a really big fan. It's called Meghan Trainor and Dear Future Husband. So enjoy, everyone. And that was Meghan Trainor with Dear Future Husband. That was such a cute song, Hope. Oh, I have lost Hope. Where did she go? Come back. And that was an adorable little song that I love oh so very much. And thank you so much for sharing that with us, Hope. And next up, I have one that is a personal favorite that I recently heard while watching a new movie. I don't know if you guys have heard of the movie called Boss Baby, which I am convinced will be my first child. He was so silly. But if you know anything about me, I am a business student and I work in the business professional field. And so once this came to life, I thought it was hilarious. And then this song played at the very end, which I thought it was adorable. So here it goes, guys. Enjoy. It's called, I think you pronounce it Hissy Haley. What the world needs now is love. Enjoy.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Lord, we don't need another mountain. There are mountains and hillsides enough to climb.
Yay! You're back. I thought I lost you there for a second. Oh no, your audio is breaking up a little bit. All right, I'm going to finish playing this song, so get yourself readjusted, and then as soon as the song is done, we'll come back to chat a little bit.
Oceans and rivers.
Uh-oh. You lost me.
Enough to cross, enough to last till the end of time. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Lord, we don't need another meadow. There are cornfields and wheat fields enough to grow. There are sunbeams and moonbeams enough to shine. Oh, listen, Lord, if you wanna know. Sweet love, it's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. What the world needs now. Oh, the world needs now. Need love, sweet love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. Need a little love, sweet love. Oh, we need love. Oh, what we need is love. Oh,
What the World Needs Now is Love by Missy Haley. That is one of my new favorite songs. I have it on replay more often than I do not. It's the song that I've been listening to. And Hope, it looks like I had lost you there for a second, but you came back, and it looks like your audio just dropped again. Let's see if you can make it back. Yeah, that song played at the end of that movie, and I found myself replaying it over and over again, singing at the top of my lungs. Don't worry, I may be tempted to tease you guys and sing it myself on here. Who knows? But it is one of my favorite songs, and how fitting with Romance on the Air. We talk about loving each other as friends, loving your spouses, and what the world needs is a little bit more of love. We've heard it time and time again that, kindness costs nothing, and all we need is a little bit more of it each and every day with everyone. But as my co-host tries to come back on here, she seems to be having some technical difficulties. Hope, whenever you're ready, start chit-chatting with us. We'd love to have you on here. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at one of her most recent posts called Love and Marriage 93, the Hallway Conflict Project. And she starts off by saying, quoting a book by Dr. Steven Stephens called The Blueprints for a Solid Marriages. And he uses the analogy that marriages are like houses and that each room represents a certain area of your marriage. Hope, can you hear me? Say something for the crowd. I'm talking
Yes,
about.
I can hear you now.
Yay!
Sorry, I'm back. I don't know what happened.
That's okay. I'm glad to have you back. I was just telling them that I was looking at your post called Love and Marriage 93, the Hallway Conflict Projects. And you quote Dr. Steve Stevens and his book Blueprints for a Solid Marriage, where he says that marriage is like a house and each room represents a certain area of your marriage. Now, tell me more about this author. Is he a pastor? Is he a speaker? How did you find this one?
Now you're asking me a question that I don't know.
Okay.
No, it's just a book that I bought a long time ago, but I'm sure he's a public speaker. Just let me get the book here.
Yeah. Sure.
I think he's a pastor and also he's writing books for marriages. It's just a book that I started a long time ago reading, and when I started doing the blog, I just thought I think it's a nice way that he, with the house, that he tried to deal with every aspect in your marriage life. So sharing out of that on the blog.
Very nice. And did you randomly find this book? Did someone recommend it to you? How did you get your hands on it?
Just randomly find it where I was in a bookstore, just saw it, and normally I buy the books if they're on special.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's just how I found it. And I actually never read it before I started with the Love and Marriage blogs. That's the first time that I read it myself.
Oh, really? That's amazing. Has he written other books, or is this the only one of his that you have?
I suppose he must have written other books, but it's the only one that I have.
And it's a very good one. And in this post, you list 6 fight factors that he talks about in there. And I think a lot of these are very common. Like communication seems to be a big one. Money, I always hear, is a huge one. Relatives and in-laws are a hot topic. And then eventually parenting. But one on here that I'm not surprised, but I am a little bit to see is chores. And I'm curious, do you and your hubby argue about doing chores?
Yes, we can at times, but normally he's very helpful. Oh, my first husband wasn't so helpful. So yeah, I think it actually is a very common area of that, that you fight about it, because everybody is busy and doesn't want to do too much. And normally it comes to the wife to do everything. So yeah, I think it can be maybe
Yeah.
a common area. Yeah.
So what are some of the chores that you and your hubby share? Like, what is your responsibility and what is his? And how did you guys decide that?
Yeah, I'm only making the food. No,
That
we've got in our situation, we are an extended family that lives together.
okay.
The things that he would normally do, my son does. So my son take out the rubbish, and my son looks after the yard, that the yard is clean. So he doesn't have to do that.
Very nice.
I'm mainly responsible for cooking the meals, and then he will help me with that. In the evening, if I go cook the meal, he will come and he will maybe peel some veggies or some of that. So he likes it. I work a lot of time. During the day, I'm on the computer from early till very late. So he helps me a lot. He will make me breakfast, bring it to the room. So that's very nice. I'm very lucky.
Yes, you are. It sounds like you guys help each other a lot. And for people who don't know, I'm in the United States and on the East Coast, and so it is 3:41 p.m. my time. What time is it for you in South Africa?
41 p.m. in South Africa.
It's 1 a.m. You said?
41. So quarter to 11
Oh, I gotcha.
in
Yes.
the evening. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's very late. So it's very cool that you are halfway across the other world and I am here in two different time zones. And yet we have met online and we have become friends and now we have this TV show, this radio show that we both can talk about and share our
That's
lives. Small world, isn't it?
wonderful.
Yeah,
Smaller and smaller with the help of technology.
it's true. And it's kind of like falling in love. You know, you never know where or when it's going to happen and how that's going to progress over time. And, you know, you live in South Africa, you've lived there your whole life, and I live in the United States. I've lived here my whole life, but my family is from Brazil, and we never thought that we would end up here, but here we are. And I think every day looks a little bit different, but the more that we help each other, the better it gets. And so, with
Yes.
that, I'm going to play the next song that you had recommended for us from Ellie Goulding, Still Falling for You. Enjoy. That was Ellie Goulding, Still Falling for You. And I actually am a huge fan of Ellie, but I've never heard this song. And hope I'm supposed to be the one with all the modern music, but it looks like you're the one with all the modern music today.
Look up some more modern songs. So yes, I found a few that I like.
Yeah, I love it.
Maybe put it. That's good.
Excellent selection. It's so funny because you picked a lot of really modern ones, and then all my picks are from new movies that came out, but they're playing classical music with it, and it's funny how the roles switch a little bit.
Wrong with that.
No, not at all. And so while the song was playing, I was looking at your other post that's also called Love and Marriage 93. Keep the romance going. And I love that because so many married people I talk to always say the same thing. I ask them, is marriage what you thought it would be? And they always say, it's so much more, but it's so much harder. And it's always hard to grasp, like, what is so hard about marriage? And they always kind of explain in some shape or form about keeping the romance and passion going. And that's kind of what you talk about in this blog post as well. Now, is this one based off of a book, based off of experience? Where did you get the information for this one?
Well, it's a little bit of both experience and yes, I've got another little book here, romance, and I try to do a blog like this once a week just to try on keeping inspiring people to do what they must do. Like you said, work to keep it going. It shouldn't be so hard, but just to make time. I think that's the main thing, is to make time for your loved one. And yeah, because we get so carried away in life and the busy life that we don't make time for each other.
Isn't
That's
that the
most
truth? Yeah, because even you
yes.
mentioned you spend so much of your time working that you really depend on your husband to help you and make you breakfast and help you around the house with different things like that. Sometimes we get so stuck in the busyness of our lives that we forget to share the moments with our loved ones. Even though I'm not married yet, but hopefully I will be very soon. It's very easy for me to get caught up with my hobbies, with my life, with my work, and with the things that I love to do the most, that I forget to make time for those that I love, especially when I live with them and we see each other every day. We spend so much time together, but it's not quality time. So what are some of the things that you and your husband do to kind of keep that romance, keep that passion going?
Oh, well, as you know, maybe the audience doesn't know that I live at the sea. So yes, our most favorite thing to do is to go down to the sea, even maybe go have a swim, or sometimes we go early in the morning and take some pictures of the sun rising. Or otherwise we just go down with a picnic basket and just spend the day. So yeah, that's most of the things that we like to do.
That is wonderful. I love that because it's so simple. It's nothing too crazy. It's nothing too exaggerated. I think a lot of times we think of romance and passion of being this huge gesture, and we spend a lot of money, and there's a lot of time and effort that goes into it. And sometimes those are really good, but more often than not, it's the simple moments of living by the beach, going to the beach, and having a picnic that really make the difference and can be just as special, if not more so. And then I also noticed in this blog post, you make some recommendations of some things to do, which is a lot of fun. And then at the very bottom, you actually have a little contest going that people can win 2 SBD if they post a picture in the comments. What inspired this contest?
Thinking about our show, and I thought it would be nice if we can get people involved. I've been trying for some time to ask people to post some pictures about what they did, but so far no luck. So I thought, well, maybe add some SBD there and maybe they will respond. So yeah, we'll have to see.
Yeah,
So I thought it would be a good idea for the show also. And then we can announce a winner maybe on the show. And yeah.
I
So yeah.
think that's a great idea, actually. And guys, if you haven't heard, I will post the link in the chat room. There's a contest at the very end for your chance to win 2 SBD. I'll go ahead and match it, and we'll do 4 SBD. So that way, if anyone or whoever she selects as the grand winner for posting a picture, um, will go ahead and win that prize. So she'll go ahead and give 2 SBD, and I'll donate 2 SBD from my account as well. And that'll be really exciting. So best of luck. Everyone run over there now and post a beautiful date night picture for it. And anything else you'd like to add about what is required for the contest or anything like that, Hope?
No, a picture of you and your life having a good time. That's all.
Well,
Can
there
be
you go.
anything, as you said. It doesn't have to be in a restaurant or spending money. It can be a simple thing that you do at home. Actually, every week when I do this post, I always try to include some things that you can do at home. Or because most people also have kids, and when the kids are sleeping, you can do some of these things. Yeah.
This is true. This is true. Especially when you have kids, it becomes more and more expensive to go out on date nights because not only do you have to pay for someone to stay home with the kids, but you're paying for you to go out, and it could just really get very, very expensive. But if you do small, simple dates while the kids are at home sleeping or, busy at grandma and grandpa's house or out, this may be one of those great ideas. So, with that, I'm going to go play another song recommended by Hope. I don't actually know how to say this name. Is it called Secoast? Cry to Me? Is that how you say it, Hope?
Staccatos,
Staccatos.
cry to me. Yes.
Very nice. Who are they? Are they African as well?
From Africa, as long as I know. I think they're from the USA, but it's way back
Yeah.
in time. I think it was in the 60s or early 70s. And as far as I know, they an African American group. Yeah,
Very cool. So look at Hope
right.
teaching me all
Really
this
nice
stuff.
music.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love it. Alrighty, guys. Well, enjoy. It's called Cry to Me. Wow, that was Sakosto's Cry to Me, and it was kind of sad, Hope. But it was beautiful, as you said. I did really like that, even though it did kind of make me sad. And like a terrible co host, I completely forgot about the show notes and script that Hope had made for us. So I'm going to scroll back into this and stick back to the plan for our final minutes to make sure we cover all our bases here. So let's double check. We made the announcements. We're finally here. We're going to talk a little bit about ourselves. And we did that. And then, we have to do the disclaimer. That's a good reminder for it because we don't want to break any of the rules while we're here. And MSP Waves Radio and its owners take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by the talk show host or their guest. Statements and show topics are not necessarily the beliefs of the radio station. The material on these shows is provided for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only. So yes, folks, although we are in love with love, and most of the ones that we love are loved ones on here, it is not necessarily correlated from one and the other. Looks like I lost my co-host, but she is back. Are you still there, Hope?
Yes, I'm back now. Sorry, I will have to all the windows. I don't know. I lost the show notes, and when you start talking, I wanted to get it back, and then I went off Discord. So yeah, apologize to everyone.
No
I just
problem.
need a bit of practice on my side to manage between all these things. Now I know what I'm talking about. And yeah, I just want to say a special thank you to Cubby because she's doing all the technical stuff actually on her side. So I've got easiest by me and I'm still struggling. So yeah, I'm just very grateful for you
No
to
problem.
make it happen for us.
I'm so glad to have you here with me, even though you're halfway across the world. And I think we're going to make an excellent team. And so I'm glad to have you on here as well. It's my pleasure. It's my joy to be able to do all this. And it's a ton of fun on my side. And it's all good. No worries. But I was able to read the MSP Waves disclaimer. So we got that out of the way.
Okay.
The next thing on here is we are going to talk about the different ideas we have for the show and what we kind of want to do with it. We have a lot of other ideas that we would like to do in the show. You had mentioned maybe interviewing some couples, maybe running some contests for couples that went on the best dates or did the most romantic thing for the week. I really love that idea. Do you know any other couples on Steemit?
I know a few, but I don't know if they will be willing to come on the show or even if they listen to MSP Waves Radio, but I know we can always find out. The one that I'm thinking of is like Isaria and Shane.
Yes.
They are the most, the most one. And I know Crimson Clad she also have somebody in her life.
I didn't know that. That would be that would be
I'm
interesting.
sure she have a partner, yeah. So
Yeah.
we can find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and there's Main Event. No, not Main Event. Who's the other guy? He's also writing. I can't pronounce that.
Is it
Something for you? Is it like DBZ or?
Yes, DBZ for a while. Yes, him and his wife are
Yeah.
actually here. Mm-hmm.
Already a few to start off with.
That's right. This is good.
Then you can put them under the spotlight because you're very good at that.
Yes, we will shine a bright light and interrogate them. Ask them all sorts of questions about their love and their marriage and their romance. I actually co-host a show with Shane on on Tuesday nights Eastern time. And so next time I'm on there, I'll tell him about our show and tell him that we have asked him and his wife to be on the show with us. Him and her actually do quite a few shows together.
Yes, that will be good.
I love that idea. It should be fun.
Other idea that what I was thinking about was like the creative community also, they also have a lot of competitions. We can also competitions for the best love, romantic poem, story,
I love that.
musician, the songs. I know they play some of their songs, so we can even ask them to write us some songs, and then we can also play some of their songs along with our choices.
I like that. That's a great idea. See what kind of music they like and see if we'll actually enjoy it too or if it will be terrible. We will find out. And that's okay. I really like that idea a lot. Let's see. The next thing we have on here is we'll see how the show goes, and we can have a time during the show where we can take special requests. Most couples have a special song. We would love to hear your special songs. With the request, you can actually send it to us via DMs, or we can create a little link like Global has, so where they can put their music request on there so we can look it up. That would be a ton of fun. That way we can hear from the audience, we can hear from our couples that are on the air. Everyone can get a chance to share their favorite love songs. And who knows, maybe we'll get something funky, you know?
Sounds good.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a lot of fun to hear. And maybe some people don't have a love song, so we will play a love song for them, and maybe that will become their next love song, and will be inspiring love and romance for other people too. Who knows? Anything's
Yes.
possible. What is yours and your husband's love song?
Out of now so quickly. There's one but it's an Afrikaans song, and it's called Bell, 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 and that means phone me, phone me, phone me. And that was a song that when we first started to go out, that you just want to speak to that person, and we just take a
I love
song.
it. I love it. That is amazing. Whoops. Alrighty, very cool. Well, yeah.
Tell me, didn't you had any other like a short-term or long-term relationship?
I am the worst, Hope. I'm actually become friends with the men that I date for a very long time. The longest I've been friends with someone is about a year, almost two, before we started dating. But every time I start dating someone, it never lasts. I think the longest was maybe 4 months. It might have been 3.5. I don't know.
Oh,
It's pretty bad.
but,
Yeah, so
but no,
it's
that's not so bad. But at least you've become friends with them, so
yeah,
to be a friend is also it's also a relationship. So
yeah. So in
you
that
also
case,
had
if
to learn something from that time.
exactly. So if we count, the time that we were friends and the time that we were dating, it's about 2 years the longest relationship that I have been with someone. But really just dating, it was just a couple of months. And I think when I was younger, I would put a lot of expectations that my parents put on me, that I would put on them that weren't very realistic for the relationship. So I'd ask them and I would expect them to do things when we first started dating that wasn't really something that we should even be talking or
Yeah.
considering about. So I think I've learned a lot about it, and it gets harder when I'm older because I know that I want to get married. I know I want a husband. I know I want a family. I have a full-time job now, so I can sustain myself. And a lot of men that I've met, they want these same things, but they want it to look differently. They don't necessarily want to get married. And if they do, it's not something they consider for a very long time. And that's really tough for me because, as a Christian, there's certain things that I am waiting for marriage to do, and they're not always as patient with that in mind. So I think that's a big hindrance now with dating people who aren't Christian. So
I can understand that. Yeah, you'll have to find somebody it's just like that. If you are a Christian, you'll have to find somebody that is also a Christian. Otherwise, it's most probably not going to, or it will work out in the beginning while you're in that uh,
Romance.
very in love phase and everything goes, but after a while it will become a problem.
You know what? That's a good point because I don't think it really matters if you're Christian or not. But if you have core values, as I like to call it, like my faith is a core value of who I am, and it defines everything that I do and how I operate. And if I were to be with someone who doesn't have the same core value and doesn't believe in the same things, I'm sure there's a lot of things that we can agree on that we can work through. But at the end of the day, a lot of our arguments will come because we don't see eye to eye on these very important issues and viewpoints. So, if you strongly believe, in a political way, if you strongly believe in a religious belief, if you strongly believe in hardcore metal music like some of our friends do, and you're with someone who doesn't, maybe in certain areas you guys may not argue, but I think you'll find in a lot of ways you won't see eye to eye because you don't agree on these things. So that's a very good point to remember to find people that you aren't always so similar to, but the important stuff you are very similar in.
That's very true.
And with that, I actually love this song that you picked. It's by Percy Sledge, When a Man Loves a Woman. When a Man Loves a Woman by Percy Sledge. I actually didn't realize that was by Percy, but I do love that song very much. Thank you, Hope. You truly know how to choose some really good songs. Do I still have you there, Hope?
I haven't heard any of yours yet.
Well,
Have me?
when your mic wasn't working, I played one of my favorite ones, and it's from the new
Okay.
movie called Boss Baby. I don't know if you've seen that movie, but it's by Missy Haley. What the world needs now is love, which I love that song now. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I loved it.
Look it up.
Yes. Look it up and let me know what you think. Um, let's take a look here. Where did we leave off? And I think that we covered just about everything that we had on our notes today. Let me take a special look. I think next time we can definitely take some more requests and dig into some more of the blog and whatnot. But we have been on the air now for about an hour, so that's where we're halfway through on the regular one. But since it's just a test run, we wanted to say thank you for listening to our very first show. We really enjoyed spending the time with you. Hope, thank you so much for doing the show with me. I love having you on here and co-hosting with me. Thank you for putting up all this together. And I'm excited to see where we will go next.
Yes, thanks, Cubby. I'm also you. Like I say, you're a natural born DJ and you make it quite easy to be on. And thanks for everybody in the audience. And we hope to see you again next week, same time, same place.
That's right. Next week, same time, same place. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to play us one last song to finish up, and that will take us all the way up to the hour. And this is actually one of my selections. It's one of the more the newer songs that there's on here, and it's by Hey Violet called Hoodie. Enjoy, guys, and thanks for being on MSP Waves with Hope and Cubby on Romance on the Air. We'll see you next week. Bye. Alrighty, that was our last song of the day called Hey Violet. No, by Hey Violet. The song is called Hoodie. Thanks again, guys, for listening. You are riding the waves with MSP Waves, Romance on the Air with your DJ, Hope and Cubby. Say bye, Hope. Oh, I lost my co-host. Bye, guys.